What if I told you that one of the Premier League's greatest ever scorers was once seen as a complete failure in English football? Written off, mocked, and sent away quietly. His name? Mohamed Salah. And this is Perspective Football. When Chelsea signed Mohamed Salah in January 2014 for £11 million from FC Basel, they weren't just buying a winger. They were quite literally buying a rising star. At Basel, he had ripped through defences with blistering pace, scoring twice against Chelsea in the Champions League group stage. That's what caught Mourinho's eye. But what happened next was silence. In a Chelsea squad overflowing with attacking talent, Hazard, Willian, Oscar, Schürrle, Salah quickly became invisible. He started just 6 Premier League games in 18 months. Even when he did appear, it was often in the 89th minute, running onto a cold pitch, expected to change a game in 60 seconds. Mourinho didn't trust him. Maybe it was tactical. Maybe it was physical. Maybe Salah just didn't fit the narrow defensive system Chelsea played. Whatever the reason, he was cast out before he'd ever been given a real chance. By 2015, Salah was loaned out to Fiorentina, almost as an afterthought. In the brutal world of English football, he had already been labelled too lightweight, too raw, too soft for the Premier League. The press barely noticed his exit. In England's eyes, Salah had come and gone, just another name on Chelsea's conveyor belt of forgotten signings. But in Italy, Salah wasn't trying to prove anyone wrong. He was trying to prove something to himself. Italy offered something England hadn't: time. In Serie A, Salah wasn't just given minutes, he was given freedom. At Fiorentina, he hit the ground running. In his first 10 games, he scored 6 goals and delivered stunning performances against the likes of Inter Milan and Juventus. Suddenly, headlines began to shift. The Chelsea reject who's lighting up Serie A. Fiorentina wanted to keep him, but Roma moved faster. In the summer of 2015, Salah signed with AS Roma. It was there that the rebuild truly began. Roma gave him a wing to operate and built a system around his speed and sharp instincts. Playing under Luciano Spalletti, Salah became a cornerstone of a fast, direct attack that tore through Italian defences. In his first season, he scored 15 goals and provided 11 assists in all competitions. The following year, even better, 19 goals. He had outgrown the pacey winger label. Now, he was a complete forward, ruthless on the break, intelligent in possession, and surprisingly strong on the ball. And it wasn't just the stats, it was his demeanour. His shoulders were broader, his decisions sharper, his game more mature. Italian fans adored him, Egyptian fans worshipped him, and scouts across Europe took notice again. But back in England, scepticism lingered. Back in England, people still weren't convinced. Could a few flashy goals in Italy really prepare him for the grind of the Premier League? They remembered the Salah who had faltered at Stamford Bridge, not the one lighting up the Olympico every weekend. But Liverpool? They saw what others didn't, and they made their move. Let's be real. When Liverpool paid £36.5 million to bring Mohamed Salah back to the Premier League in June 2017, the general reaction was lukewarm. A few praised the signing, and many questioned it. Wasn't this the same guy who couldn't hack it at Chelsea? Was this Klopp's idea of ambition? But Jurgen Klopp saw something others couldn't. He saw not the 21-year-old who struggled in West London, but the man who had evolved in Rome, a player hungry, humble, and perfectly built for Liverpool's high-octane attack. From the moment Salah pulled on the red shirt, it was clear. This wasn't the same Salah who left England. In his Premier League debut for Liverpool, he scored. Then he scored again, and again. His pace was electric, his finishes lethal. He wasn't just beating defenders, he was rewriting the script, turning every old doubt into dust. By December, he was leading the league in goals. By March, defenders were doubling up, and it still didn't matter. By May, it wasn't just Liverpool fans talking. Everyone was watching now. Salah ended the 2017-18 season with 44 goals in all competitions. That included 32 in the Premier League, breaking the record for most goals in a 38-game season, a record previously held by Ronaldo, Shearer, and Suarez. Anfield adored him. Even the press, once full of doubt, now couldn't stop praising him. Fans across the globe began to sing his name, not out of surprise, but because they knew greatness when they saw it. And yet, Salah was only getting started. You don't earn a nickname like the Egyptian King without doing something extraordinary. By the time Salah entered his second season at Liverpool, he had become the breakout star. A club that had spent years rebuilding its reputation was now being led by a man who had once been told he wasn't good enough. But Salah didn't slow down. In fact, he looked even sharper. In the 2018 Champions League run, Salah was untouchable. He torched Manchester City in the quarter-finals, scored in the semis against Roma, his former club, and led Liverpool all the way to the final. Though heartbreak followed in Kyiv, as an early shoulder injury forced him off against Real Madrid, Salah's stock had already soared to the stratosphere. That summer, he returned home to lead Egypt in their first World Cup since 1990. Just weeks earlier, he had suffered a shoulder dislocation in the Champions League final, an injury that should have ruled him out. Honestly, he had no business even playing. But that's Salah for you. He showed up anyway, because that's who he is. A man who shows up, even when it hurts. Back in England, Salah continued to defy expectations. He scored another 27 goals in his second Liverpool season, guiding the Reds to 97 points, just one shy of the title. That same year, he returned to the Champions League final. And this time, he made it count. 2 minutes into the final against Spurs, Salah smashed home a penalty. That night, he lifted the trophy he'd been denied a year earlier, Champions of Europe. Yes, he scored. But what he meant to people went far beyond the numbers. He was a symbol of faith, of resilience, of dignity. He made millions feel seen, just by showing up game after game. You'd think the noise would have stopped, right? I mean, back-to-back Golden Boots, a Champions League title. But nope. In football, doubt always finds a way back in. When Sadio Mane began to shine, whispers surfaced. Was Salah becoming too selfish? When he endured goal droughts, some asked if he'd been figured out. Others speculated if he was already declining. The same voices that once ignored him at Chelsea were now dissecting every missed chance and every quiet game. But Salah never flinched. He kept running, kept scoring and delivering. In 2019-20, Salah scored 23 goals in all competitions and played a crucial role in Liverpool's march to their first league title in 30 years. 30 years. The weight of generations lifted off the shoulders of a fan base, and Salah had his fingerprints all over it. His goals weren't mere numbers, they were moments that defined matches. A hat-trick at Old Trafford, a curling strike in the Merseyside derby. Late winners, ice-cold penalties, clutch after clutch after clutch, and still, there was no celebration parade, no crowd. The COVID-19 pandemic had changed everything. Empty stadiums replaced roaring fans. Salah played on, week after week, without the noise that had become his soundtrack. And yet, his numbers never dipped. While the world paused, Salah remained in motion. He never clapped back at the media, never fueled drama. He let his consistency do the talking. By the 2021-22 season, he became the fifth fastest player in Premier League history to reach 100 goals. But Salah had more to give. Much more. The boy who couldn't make it at Chelsea was now writing his name next to Henry, Rooney and Shearer. To be fair, no one would have blamed him if he left. The offers were massive. Spain, France, Saudi, more money and more headlines. But when his Liverpool contract entered its final year, Salah made a choice. He stayed. In the summer of 2022, after weeks of tense negotiations, he signed a new 3-year deal, becoming the highest-paid player in Liverpool's history. And this was personal. Salah wasn't done with Anfield. Not yet. He wanted more trophies, more memories with the club that had bet on him when no one else would. And yes, he delivered. In the 2022-23 season, he scored 30 goals in all competitions, surpassing Robbie Fowler to become Liverpool's all-time leading Premier League scorer. He broke the record for most left-footed goals in Premier League history. He etched his name into the record books by scoring in 6 consecutive Anfield games. Not once, but twice. But perhaps what makes Salah truly rare isn't just his stats, it's his identity. In a sport often defined by ego, he remains grounded. In a league dominated by chaos, he brings consistency. And in a world chasing attention, Salah quietly leads by example. Today, he's become a national icon, a living legend. And yet, he plays every game like he's still trying to prove something. Maybe that's what drives him. It's not about proving anyone wrong anymore. It's about a fire that never went out, not even when everyone else stopped looking. This isn't just a story about football. It's a story about failure, about being told you're not good enough, about falling in front of the world and rising anyway. Salah didn't shout back at the doubters. He just kept going, and in doing so, he reminded us that greatness often begins quietly, unnoticed, until it's undeniable. So yeah, next time you doubt someone, or even yourself, remember this story, Salah's story, because this wasn't a comeback. It was a rebirth, and he's still not done. Give this video a like and subscribe to our channel. We've got more coming your way. Thanks for watching. See you next time.